Am I the a-hole for telling my mom? I'm used to it, after my parents ruined the surprise of my engagement and the wedding dress? I, 27F, am getting married in September 2025. I am in a long-distance relationship. My partner lives in England, and I am in the United States. We are lucky enough that I work remotely and visit about 3 times a year for 6 weeks at a time, and he visits me in the United States about 4 times a year for 1 week at a time. When he was planning to propose, he asked my parents for their blessing in March 2024. My parents assumed that I would know when he was proposing, and my dad told me in a conversation the following week that he was proposing in December 2024. As you can imagine, I was upset. My mother invalidated my feelings and said I was making it a big deal and being stupid for not assuming it would happen during Christmas, because that is when both of our families would be together. My argument is that while I could have had a hunch, I did not want to be told when it would happen. I could have spent practically a whole year wondering excitedly when it would be. For all I knew, he could have proposed before that, and Christmas could have been when we had an engagement party. Anyway, my dad apologized, but my mom has stood firm in saying I am dramatic for being upset. Since then, more things have gone wrong, and it has started to leave me feeling very sad about wedding planning. None of this has been a good experience, and I have started to feel like it is a chore. Fast forward to today, my partner is visiting, just for 1 week, and we are all sitting on the couch in the living room. My mom randomly turns to me and says, "Have you picked up your veil from the bridal store yet?" Right in front of him. Then my partner smiles and says, "Oh, you are wearing a veil?" I immediately got very frustrated. There are only 2 surprises in a wedding, the engagement and the dress, and both of them have been handled so carelessly. So I turned to my mom and said, "Can you please not mention anything about the dress? Not the shoes, nothing. I do not want him knowing anything." She rolled her eyes, walked away, and about 10 minutes later gave a half-hearted apology, just saying, "Sorry, OP." I replied, "It is fine. I am used to it at this point." Now she has gone back and locked herself in her room, so I guess, am I the a-hole for being upset? Edit. I know a lot of people are asking if this is typical of her. It is not. She has already had one of her 4 daughters get married. I am the second. She never ruined the engagement or the dress for her. She also seemed to care a lot more about her than she has about me during this time. Second edit. Nowadays, a lot of brides opt to wear veils, tiaras, sometimes hats, embellishments, or nothing at all. I forgot to mention that my fiancé had told me he did not want to know whether I was wearing a veil or anything else and wanted it all to be a surprise. Since he is very mild-tempered and sweet, he was surprised but tried to be polite in his reaction because he knew I would be upset. Final update. A few people over the last few months have been asking, so here is the update. A lot of you will be disappointed to know that we did not end up eloping or canceling the wedding. It is easy on the internet to say to cancel, but I could not handle the idea of losing the $13,000 I had already invested into it. While there were definitely some hiccups along the way, my husband and I decided not to let anyone's pettiness or juvenile behavior bother us anymore or dictate our special day. Thankfully, I did not have to deal with much more from my side. While my mom never really apologized or acknowledged how I felt, I remembered something a therapist once said to me about her. "Why are you surprised by this? She has always been the same person she has shown you she is. You are angry because you expected something different, but she has shown you she will never be different." I love my mom, and she is a great mom, but she also has major flaws, and she has hurt my feelings many times. Ultimately, over the last year, I have grown to accept that she is who she is, and I should not keep giving her the space to hurt me. As many of you suggested, I have implemented the gray rock method extensively. And you know what is funny? She hardly knows anything about my life anymore, and she does not seem to mind. It is a win-win. My poor husband also dealt with a lot of issues at the same time and had one last conflict on his side, which resulted in him not doing a mother-son dance. Weddings can really show you who is in your corner. While we definitely learned that, we also discovered exactly who our support system is. The best example was the best man, who made sure everything ran smoothly, double-checked that we always had full glasses, coordinated with the venue owner so I did not have to, and even rented us a fancy car to end the night. Happy things that happened on our wedding day. I bought a second reception dress to change into. I had been feeling so out of control that I decided to buy a dress secondhand for $400, and it was beautiful. I told no one about it, kept it to myself, and had the best time revealing it before we started dancing. I love that dress so much. Because I love it so much, I am going to attach a picture so people can see. We got married on September 21st, and it lightly rained right before the ceremony, which they say is good luck, so I was very pleased. The venue was stunning, our ceremony was lovely, and it was so relieving to see that everything we had gone through to be there in that moment was so worth it. Literally, I have no complaints. Every single guest told us it was the best wedding they had ever attended, not to brag. That day was absolutely perfect. The photographer was great, the food was amazing. I am Mexican and Colombian, so we had food trucks and mariachis playing while we ate, and the music was perfect. Everything felt so relieving, exciting, and perfect. Afterward, we jetted off to a quick honeymoon in Cancun, where we got to relax on the beach and think about nothing. Next year will be our real, big trip together, Bali. For those who will ask, no, I have not moved to England yet. Unfortunately, I am a business owner, and we learned that my taxes will be complicated. I am currently working on slowly transitioning out and plan to be fully living there in 2027 or 2028. We are still doing long distance until then. I'm set to go to England at the end of April and will be there for 2 months. The original poster left a Google Drive of her wedding photos for anyone who wants to see.